Okay, I want to go over this trade I took today. It was a nice winning trade. I'm not necessarily trying a new strategy out. I mean, you can consider it that, but I, it's a gray area. It's not. I'm not trying a new strategy out. Okay. Um, Essentially, what I'm doing is I'm trying to switch from scalping to more day trading slash swing trading. I wouldn't even really call it swing trading because I'm not. There are some trades that they might have to be held overnight, which I can't actually do on Lucid Trading, or I don't know what, probably most funded platforms, if not all of them. Um, but in my back testing of this, of trading this, I definitely have held some positions overnight, which I won't be able to do. But there are also a lot of positions where they play out during the market hours. So again, not really changing my strategy. I'm trying to simplify it a little bit, but I'm also trying to um, enter on a higher time frame to avoid chop. So I'll go over the trade I took today and show really how simple this was. Um, and yeah, so we had already taken the previous weekly low yesterday. So today, our next target, if we were going to be bearish, was the previous monthly low that happened to be this low here, this swing low on the daily. I'm not sure why my trading view is so like choppy and laggy right now, but it is what it is. It's doing its job, but it is annoying me. Like you can see, you can feel that, right? It's annoying. But yeah, so I was bearish coming into the day. Uh, this is a side note. I wasn't able to take a trade on Wednesday because I was in meetings all day for my job, but this was also a really nice trade. We would have targeted previous weekly low here, and we were tapping into a 4 hour. We also tapping into, you know, I guess not an hourly, but a 4 hour, and then we on the 30 minute inversed the 30 minute here. I had an alert set, but I genuinely just could not even access my phone because um, because of work. I was in meetings, but that was a really solid trade, and essentially it's the same thing I look for normally, where I look for an inverse and I look for a higher time frame fair value gap, but then I also look for a point of interest that makes sense for us to go towards. But I'm entering off of a 30-minute inversion or a 1 hour fair value gap instead of a 5 minute or lower than a 5 minute. Anyways, what I entered off today was a 1 hour fair value gap, and I did not wait for an inversion actually, because here's the deal. Um, to me, we looked pretty, um, what's the word? Like pretty heavy. Um, and obviously, because we didn't get a crazy reaction from sweeping that low yesterday, and instead we just chopped and then moved lower, I did think that this was going to be the next target, which it ended up being. And again, we entered the hourly fair value gap here. There was a sweep on the 15 minute in order for us to get into that hourly fair value gap, and there was an immediate rejection. I was lucky enough to where um, I set a limit order and it came back up right before it dropped down again. So I literally had no drawdown at all. I broke even when we reached this low here, and then the trade ended up playing out. Um, Literally had no, there was nothing, not a single candle went against me once I was in the position. So this is a really solid trade, and I basically just read the trend correctly, um, and kept it extremely simple. Like I literally, all I have here is I have a draw on liquidity that made a lot of sense. A little bit of discretion because I've looked at charts enough to know when I feel like it's just some intuition where it's like, oh, I feel like this is really heavy. Price seems really heavy right now. Could we continue to chop around or could we go higher? Sure. I could lose my fucking trade. That happens with any strategy. But I felt like we were going to continue to this previous monthly low. Um, yeah, and then on top of that, like when you look at the 4 hour, there's nothing for us to come higher for. We filled in the 4 hour. I know there's this unfilled here, but that's not a reasonable target with where we were at. So, um, yeah, tapped into the 1 hour, and that is that. I will show the actual entries. Um, wait, why the fuck can't I access? Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't. Or actually, I do know how to show it. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Well, it should be showing it actually, to be fair. So it's not. Um, execution labels. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know, but I guess it like doesn't show it after the fucking day it closes, unless I'm on the wrong. No, I'm not on the wrong account. Okay, this is annoying me. I don't even know how to prove that I was in this trade. But just know this account balance was lower than it was right now. Why? So after the day ends, I can't. Whatever. This shouldn't be an issue for me going forward. I usually will recap my trade earlier than 5:45, like I'm doing right now. But I just again, this trade was taken on my phone in an Uber ride to the airport from Atlanta, where I was had a retreat with my coworkers. So I again like I just got home 2 hours ago, got some more work done, and then was able to recap this. But again, I think that's what's also really cool about having a simple strategy is that you're able to just perform it on your phone, and also if you're not trying to scalp, you usually are going to be able to get an entry. Even if you wait like this trade would not have worked had I waited another even 5 minutes, just because it flushed immediately. But a lot of times, especially if you're going to enter off of a 4 hour. Like let's see yesterday's example where I said I could have entered, but I um where is it? I could have entered, but all right, I couldn't have entered, but the trade was there. Um, like this gave me an opportunity to like we flushed immediately, but then it came back up, and these are 30-minute candles. And like I could have for a 1-to-1, I could have entered anywhere along here essentially. I mean, um, obviously this would have been the worst entry I could have possibly got, but still would have played out. And so basically had an hour to enter into that trade. Um, today, obviously, had to be a little bit quicker, but was still able to enter. So yeah, that was the trading day, the trading setup. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Yeah.